Hello, namaste, it's Leanne Peters here. Hi Susie, you're early, ready to go? It's Leanne Peters here. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook and Temple of Balance on YouTube. And we have something pretty special happening today. I've spent the last few hours really preparing for this healing event, and I feel like we're going to be taking this potentially quite deep. So before I get started, I want to thank you so much for joining me. This is a specific healing event for some of my Temple of Balance patrons. If you're not on that healing list, then this is still a public healing or healing event. So you're very welcome to take this as deep as you want to. If you are on my healing list, I feel that we're in for a bit of a treat today. So let's get ready to drop in deep. So I was feeling like I needed to be in this, it's actually a very small space. Could probably fit two bodies here. I've got my big singing bowl, but I'm going to be using that. Hello. Hi Susie. We're going to be using this for our healing time today. In fact, there's a lot of stuff going on. So let me see, where do I want to start? First of all, I had to have a candle behind me. I wanted to be in the most cave-like part of my house, which is here in this little end of the hallway where we have sort of two sections of the house, I suppose, meet. So I'm in here. This is a painting, a mural I did on the wall, and I felt like I wanted to have a candle here behind me, and I wanted to just be kind of in the darkish area. Here beside me, and I'll turn the camera around, actually I'll do it now. Here we have my big singing bowl, and it's got water in it, and one of my personal crystals. One of my crystals in here, and this is salty water, and we're going to use this as part of our sort of ceremony today. I've got some things I collected from outside, like some of my apple leaves falling from the trees. Now it's autumn. I've got some wild rosemary, which has got some flowers on it, and some new little bottle brush from my bottle brush tree, which is starting to blossom in bottle brush. In here, in this another little bowl, I have all of your names. So we have 41 people on our healing list today. So I'm going to be picking you out of the bowl, and I'm going to be putting you into this sacred water. This water here in this bowl, this represents our womb. It represents, or the womb of the Great Mother. It represents our inner world. And I felt really strongly as I was preparing to connect with water and bring water into this healing event somehow. And this is what I came up with. So I'm going to be adding these things into the bowl, most likely after I've put your names in. And then I feel like I want to drum. I want to just deeply, quietly drum. So I've got a bit of a special drum. In fact, this is a new drum I'm working on now, which I haven't finished, but about 3 days ago, I had this drum out ready to paint, because that's what I do when I'm preparing to paint a drum. I've got 2 or 3 drums kind of ready to paint. So I bring the drum that wants to be painted next, I bring that out into my workspace, and I just sit with that drum. Sometimes the picture comes straight, the animal or whatever comes straight in. Other times it sits there for a day or two until I have time to focus on it. But as soon as I got this drum out, I had this visual of this lettering around the outside in a ring, which I had to put in straight away. And then I felt that I'm going to add an animal to it. So this is sort of in creation, this drum. And as you will see, this script or whatever it is, this just came and wanted to be around this edge of this drum. So before I've even painted any animal, which will probably end up being a wolf at this point is what I'm feeling, I felt that it would be really good to access this and the energy of the drum. So I've got that. I've also got my flute if I feel like I want to play that, I've got this here, my little flute here, which sounds like this. So I may play that too. I'm sure I will, because it's here. What else have we got? Okay, so there seems to be a lot happening, because there is. So I've kind of, I think I've explained mainly the elements of what I'm feeling this morning as I connect. So this is for those of you on my healing list, and we're going to take this into some really deep healing. So what I suggest as you prepare, if you are on the list, then great, prepare. If you're not on the list and you can imagine that you are, then you can also drop deeply into this too. So what I would recommend is that you really pay attention to your body. Listen to what's coming through, but not only with your ears, listen to with your heart and your body, and let yourself move into the rhythm of this. Let it take you deeper into yourself. Of course, I'm going to also use my healing energy cards, and I've got a few things I want to share with you that I actually wrote in my journal last week, which connects with this energy, which is the energy of the High Priestess. So I'm going to read this now, see how it resonates. As always, just take on board what feels right and what resonates at the time, and let the rest go. So take some big deep breaths and get yourself comfy. See what about this resonates with you at this time. So the High Priestess, once an innocent young girl, left behind that innocence of her childhood and became the guardian of the shadowy realm. She was also custodian of the shadow realm's secrets. Private, secret, inner. The unconscious realm, hidden world, full of riches and potentials, which we cannot penetrate until we are ready. This world contains our undeveloped potentials, as well as the dark, more primitive facets of our personality. It holds the secrets of our destiny. These secrets gestate in darkness until the time is ripe for them to come out into the light. The High Priestess represents that part of us that knows the secrets of our inner world. The High Priestess is a seductive and fascinating figure, but she doesn't speak of her secrets. The knowledge, information, and secrets that she has remain mute. So in some ways I feel that this High Priestess that I talk about is a part of us. So you know how we talk about our inner child? Well, I feel at this time we're talking about our High Priestess. You may have another word or another title that you may like to name or title her or him. But I feel like she represents this part of us. She reminds us about patience. The seeds of change and new potentials wait silently in the womb of the underworld before they are given over to the care of the Earth Mother and brought to birth in the material world. The High Priestess governs the invisible force which is only revealed through feeling, intuition, and the night. And then I wrote this poem. See how it feels to you. Moved into my inner world, my womb, my throat, my depths. Surrendering responsibilities. Surrendering my own contradictions to let it be. Dark time of the moon, pitch black night, starry sky, just me and you. Holding my inner child's hand, my innocent one, my innocent one, where my life is in the hands of others. I have no responsibilities as a child, really. Now I lead the way. Hi, Linda. But not today, for today I surrender and float within my inner world, exploring my inner darkness. Quiet, cave, dark, questioning, feeling, deepening. My throat has let me in so I can access my subconscious potential. Dropping into darkness, listening, feeling, breathing. Uncomfortable, but I know all will be well. Confronted, but I know I need to be. My inner wisdom and truth entices me. My inner high priestess lets me in, so further inward I flow. I want to celebrate embodying my high priestess energy. The high priestess to me represents my inner world, the moon, night, dark, intuitive, unconscious, unformed, raw, gentle, allowing, and patience. So this is, I actually wrote that last week, but I feel it's so on point for what I'm feeling now. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to play my flute for a moment, and then I'm going to imagine the flute is summoning you all. So summoning all of you here on our healing list. Once I've played the flute for a moment or two, then I'm going to move into adding your names to this bowl of water. And then I will put the things in. First of all, I want to drop a couple of drops of lavender into the water. Wow, this is really shifting energy in the throat. So take some nice big breaths. This is pure lavender oil straight from the lavender farm. It's beautiful. So I'm going to drop 3 drops. Actually, we'll drop 5 drops because we have 41 people, which adds to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So lavender to me represents love, nurturing, healing. Before I play the flute as well, I'm going to just pull a healing energy card, and I will pull them throughout this healing time as inspired. I'm feeling very much, maybe more than usual, and I usually am, very governed by my intuition, but I feel more so now as I lead us into ourselves, into the womb of the Great Mother for healing, into our inner world. What do we need to know as we prepare to summon you forward? We've got playfulness. Card 48, surrender to the moment. Surrendering our responsibilities feels really important in this moment. Doesn't mean it's a permanent thing, but you know, as adults, we have a lot of responsibilities. Whether people in our care, like our children, the things that we have to do, the work we have to do, the income we have to bring in, the house we have to clean, the food we need to cook. All these things, every day we are full of responsibilities. And in these moments, as we're connecting, I'm inviting you to surrender all of your responsibilities. To be like that inner child, or that child that we used to be, where we didn't have such responsibilities. So can you surrender your responsibilities just for now? Not permanently, but for now. Where you think that you've got no responsibilities now, all you need to do is listen and be and drop deeper into yourself. It says laugh, enjoy life, play and have some fun to lift your spirits. You will feel so much better after doing something that nourishes you and creativity. And what I'm feeling too, gee, the light's very interesting. What I'm feeling too now that this represents is the playfulness is playing the flute. So I don't usually play the flute in public. So I'm just going to have some fun. So I'm thinking of the flute as summoning you. So be ready to come forward, surrender your responsibility so you can let yourself be in this space. So nice big breath. Okay, so I'm now going to just turn this a wee bit. This, as if you've just joined in, this is full of, or half full of water, salty lavender water in this singing bowl. And in this bowl here, I have 41 of you who are on my healing list. So I'm going to pick your name out of the bowl and put you into the water. And this water represents the womb of the Great Mother. It represents our own inner world, our own womb, our own heart, our own private inner space for healing. So let yourself drop into yourself, summoning Joanna Levine, Ann Osias. Nice big breaths. We've got Sandi Greenham, Linda Davidson, Anne Marie Douglas, Susan Sonsteng, Kanti Devi Wedad, Matthew Keith. There seems to be a lot of energy moving deep in the throat. It's almost at the heart. We've got Suzi Nicholls, Susan Macmillan, Janice Chalmers, the Healing Waters, Courtney Smith, Adriana Kuliskova, Annick Beal, Bronwyn Usher, Loretta Martin, Gayle McCoy, Sarah Jones, Angela James, Angie Griswold, Marguerite Pepper Brady, Sondra Battles, David Magnus, Ellen Stensley, Pamela Florea, Martha Samuels, Zeina Baksmaty, Jane Larson, Kimberly Veness, Allison, Avril Daly, Carol White, Nicole Wiggins, Leslie Laagel, Andrea Stuart, and we've just got 5 or 6 left. Chelsea Keith, Rebecca Ross, Bridget, I don't know how to pronounce your name correctly, Bridget, but Bridget Mehrtens, I think. Bridget, into the healing waters. Kathleen Glen, we've got 2 left. Who's going to be lucky last? It's not Charley Ross, because you're now Charlie. So into the waters you go. And last person into the waters is Christopher Regan. So in you go. And here's our waters so far. So into the waters, actually, I'll just hold you here for a moment. Just excuse the camera work. We've got the leaves from my apple tree, autumn leaves, encouraging us to go inward, drop inward. I've got some fresh rosemary. Oopsie, come off here, you're all bundled up. Oops. Okay, got some beautiful fresh rosemary. Now I'm feeling all these going into these waters for healing, for support, and nurturing you and what you need at this time. So in with the rosemary. And now my 2 bottle brush, red. This is about bringing the changes, the healing into our physical life. So let's just pop this down. Gee, the light is very interesting. And I'm just going to see if we can get any sound out of this for a moment, and then I'm going to pick another card and we're going to drum. Ooh. So feel yourself drop deep into yourself for healing and whatever it is that you need at this time. You're being held in love. Okay, let's grab a healing energy card as we prepare to go into some drumming time. So what do we need to heal, remember, receive as we prepare to go into this drumming time? And I would trust that you will know what you need too. So you may even want to pull a card or two from your cards for you, because the energy for intuition is very strong at the moment. So I wouldn't be surprised if you know already what you need. So as far as the collective or the majority of us, let's think about this as we're drumming. The healing guide. So she talks about healing energy. She says, be open to the flow of love and allow it to guide you with everything. Healing, inner beauty, opening of the throat, the third eye and the crown. And then in this drawing, she's wearing a necklace that feels like it rotates when I was drawing it. So I've called that the seed of awakening. And maybe that's what some of us need. Maybe that's what you need as you prepare to go inward, or as you're already going inward for your healing and what you need. So she's about dropping deeper now, dropping deeper into our feeling of self-love, deeper into our sense of feeling. So don't overthink it. Let's just drop in and see what happens. So I am going to drum here, and I'm just going to turn sideways a little bit. I want to drum for a little while, so I would think I'd be drumming now for 10-15 minutes. So take some big deep breaths. Unless I feel I need to say something, I'm just going to share at the end, unless it's pressing, because I really want to hold this space for you to do what you need as well. So I'm going to hold this space and encourage you to drop deeper for healing. So nice big breath. Just let the drum touch you in parts of your body where you need it. And there's nothing you can do wrong. Just listen and see what happens. Okay. Okay, take a nice big breath. And thank you. I trust you enjoyed that bit of drumming time and that you're feeling good. Let's move this a little closer. So thank you. What I was feeling as I was holding space was a lot of deepening, and it felt like the visual I had was like we were moving into the back of a cave. So if we were in the healing cave now, the entrance may be there, but it felt like through the drum that the drum was enticing us and calling us back into the back of the cave. And in the back of the cave there was this sort of slowing down, deep energy that came through, and then the energy shifted and it was like we were called back out of the cave again. So it felt to be like a very inward, like deep, coming back sort of feeling, and then moving out again. So the out, sort of moving out of the cave, felt to me too like a flame, so like a candle flame that became flames and grew. So I don't know how you're feeling. Let me know if you have something that you would love to share, or you can always send me an email if you prefer. So thank you. What do we want to do from here? Let's pull a card. Now, in regards to the bowl and all of your names, and aside from the crystal, all the herbs and bits and pieces in the bowl, I'm going to go and bury in my garden. So all of your names and all of this energy and whatever it is that you need to bury in regards to your own wounds or issues that you're carrying, especially those things that you carry in that inner dark place. I will also imagine burying those for you. So I will take this out to the earth when we're done. So I'm looking for a card for now. I'm not sure if we're done yet or not. We may be. So it depends what this card is and what we need to talk about. So the best card we need for right now is this here. Okay. Card 19, called Mental Healing. It says healing of the mind through exploration and inner reflection, which leads into an expansion of the mind. Ego healing, which we could say our shadow, mental chaos, and grounding. So there is a mental energy that's coming through. So that suggests there's something that I might need to talk about. So what do we want to talk about, and where do we want to go from here? Let's grab a second card to go with it and see what we may need to talk about. I find when I'm doing, whether it's one-on-one or healing events like this, I find that some of them seem to be I talk a lot, and that seems to be quite mental healing, so healing of the mind and things that need to be said. So to go with the mental healing cards, we have card 33, Rise of the Phoenix. And it says, take everything to the next level, rebirth, new life, let go of the expired, emerge as your authentic you. You are creation. You create galaxies through your actions and intentions. Expand. So it sounds like this is what we need to talk about, and especially perhaps how our mind may limit the potential that is available through this rising up and expanding energy of the phoenix. And the phoenix very much aligns with that fiery energy that I was just talking about as well, which feels like it's sort of lifting up and maybe firing us up a little bit as well. Until we know what we are doing, in other words, until we have clarity. Hi, Melissa. Until we have clarity, we may not know what we want or where we're going or what's next for us. And in fact, sometimes we still don't know, and especially in times like this where things in the world are very uncertain. So there's a huge unknown element at the moment. I find for me, depends on what I'm going through, sometimes I will have clarity, a mental clarity and a confidence in myself about what I want to do. It's like a light bulb moment, or a light bulb turns on in my head. It's like, oh yes, now I need to know what I need to do. And it's not necessarily the end result. It may just be the next step. It may be the next 2 or 3 steps. It's unlikely for me, as I'm just reflecting, for me to know what the end result's going to be. So where everything's going to end up for me personally in the world, or whatever paths I'm choosing to take. I'm not thinking about that completion, that ending. Last year, when I was rebuilding my ceramics workshop after the fire, I had a clear goal. I didn't know when it was going to happen, but I knew I needed to get another kiln, I wanted to rebuild, and I wanted to take my pottery to the next level. And I wanted to turn the unfortunate circumstance of a fire into something positive and rebuild and take that part of my life to the next level. So in that specific thing, I had a goal. I knew what I was working towards. But when I think right now and sit in this feeling, there is nothing that I can think of right now in my life that I know where I'm going, or I have an end goal. So I feel like sometimes we do have them and sometimes we don't, and we don't have to have them as long as we have clarity about what's next, or a strong sense about what's the next step we're going to take. And we can trust that those next steps will lead exactly where we need to go. So if we've got a goal that is to reach this bowl, for example, like I had with my kiln, I took the steps I needed to get to that manifestation. If I have an end result like, okay, let's say a big dream of what I want to do, or what I want to do in the next 10 years, and let's say that big dream is solid like this bowl, if I take steps and I've always got that goal in mind, sometimes I find my path leads in a bit of a different direction. So it's sometimes good not to have an outcome unless it's a specific thing that you're working on. So how can you take everything within yourself and your life to the next level? Sometimes it's good to think about what's holding you back. What is stopping you from getting to the next level? One big reason that is common, I've had it, I've had it before. I had it when I was waiting to build my ceramics workshop and rebuild that, is finances. Finances can be a big sort of dead end for us, because we can have all these big dreams and goals and things we want to do, things we want to create, people we want to help. If only we had the finances. So finances can be a big block in regards to that end result, or even getting towards it sometimes. So if we can get or really think about our mindset in regards to our finances, or how abundant we are, I find that's really helpful. A few years ago, when I was renting after I left my ex-husband, and I was renting a house, just came out of buying a house or having a mortgage. So went into a rental, and after about 2 years in the rental, I was finding myself complaining a lot because I didn't like it. The landlord was a pain in the backside. And there was just a lot of things that I didn't like about my living situation at the time. So when I caught myself complaining about it, I thought, okay, I'm complaining a lot, but I'm not actually doing anything to improve this part of my life. So from that day on, I decided, right, I have to have a goal, and my goal is to buy my own house. It might take me 5 years, it might take me 10, it may take me 20, but I'm going to save every cent I can to get towards that goal. So I recognized that that part of my life, that lifestyle I was living, wasn't supporting me and wasn't something I was happy with. So I put just 5% away of everything that came through Temple of Balance into a savings account. And sometimes I put $3 away, sometimes I put 30, just depended on, how things were going. But after a few years, we actually saved enough for a deposit on a house, which is where we're living now. We've been here almost exactly 5 years now. So, we can have these goals, and I think it's good if there are parts of our life that we are not happy with. that we start putting some finances or some money aside, start saving towards a better life for ourselves, or getting in control of our debts or our money financial stresses, if that's something that's holding us back. I also find that the lack of finances sometimes is actually a good way to put the brakes on something that we would probably be very flighty and very impulse in doing or getting. Hi, Sherry. So it can be a good thing to have a bit of a break, the brakes on it with our finances if we're trying to rush something that doesn't need to be rushed or is not necessary. So what do you need to perhaps consider in regards to taking your life to the next level? Oh, I'm going to sneeze. Yeah. Let's pull a card now to go. Oh, yeah, there's my cards. How are you feeling? Interesting. And if you've got a resonance with the Phoenix, then, and the Phoenix has special meaning for you, then maybe reflect on that as well. So I want to thank you so much for joining me today. I'm going to get ready to pull a card to go. I want to thank all of my 41 people, my patrons on my healing list today who have helped create the space. All of our combined collective energy helps create this space. So I trust it's been what you needed, and I want to thank you so much for your support. If you weren't on the list today and you'd like to be next month, then please have a look at my Patreon page. The link is in the video below or somewhere around here. It's the $15 level. So the $15 level gives you access to my Pillar of Light family plus this healing event. So see if it resonates with you, and if you want to join in next month, then I look forward to connecting with you. It can be a one-off thing. It doesn't have to be ongoing, but some people do like the support of this on an ongoing basis. So just see how you go. And of those of you I connected with today, if you're inspired to continue next month, I look forward to connecting with you then. So I'll be back for a similar healing list event towards the end of June. I'll confirm the date. The first week of June. So I'm looking for a card to go. What do we need to know now about what's next, especially as we move out of our healing cave or healing time and into our everyday life, rising up and moving from the darkness of the cave and into the light. Thanks, Sherry. So our card here for what's next is spiritual surgery. Sort of feels weird holding it here on my left. Spiritual surgery, card 46. And it says, deep tissue repair. So in the physical body. Spiritual surgery on the body. Relax and allow the surgeons or your healing guides, the healing energy, to help you. Hi, Donna. Physical pain. Crystals for healing, self-healing, repair on all levels, and ask for help. So this is now about taking what we've connected with into a more physical, bring it into your life in a more physical way. So think about the depth of things or feeling that you've had that's come forward for you or that's resonated with you that you can now bring into your body and into your life. So what things do you need to consider? What things do you need to question? What things do you need to apply now in your life? If you resonated with what I said about being sick of renting and complaining about it and deciding that, hey, I've got the power here, I can start doing something about it. I might not have the money to buy a house right now, but I can certainly take my time and save a little bit and sacrifice a little bit in my lifestyle to be able to save towards a deposit for a house. And I did it. I did it 5 years ago. So, that may have resonated with you as something you can now start applying in your physical life. That will help improve things, bring about change, help you work towards a goal if that's what you need, or help you find your clarity that you need as well. You may also find that your physical body may need some healing time. So some time for nurturing or reflecting, caring for your body. So this video looks very fuzzy. It's not very crisp, is it? So for some reason, unless my eyes are going. So maybe it's your physical body that needs a little bit of R&R. So see how you go. So thank you so much for joining me today. I trust you've enjoyed this connection, and thanks again for supporting my work. I look forward to connecting with you again soon. I will be sharing another weekly video, my cards for the week, here on Monday, and I will be over on my Facebook page, Temple of Balance on Facebook. I'll be doing a spirit guide drawing very soon, so come on over if you want to. It'll probably be an hour or so away from now. So have a great rest of your day. Sending you loads of love from my heart to yours, and I look forward to hearing how this has been for you. Namaste. Thank you. Thanks, Melissa.